guys? How are you? Welcome back to the Breakwaters podcast. You got Mr. Michael Hutchinson here. He's the Power Plus Mouthguard. Special guest here. How you doing?
Good. Nice to be on with you.
Nice. You want to tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a practicing dentist in Traverse City, Michigan, northern Michigan. I've spent the last 21 years researching and developing a new technology. Actually, I'm the one that basically discovered how it applies to the jaw mechanism, and I developed a mouth guard that is a physiologic mouth guard. It's totally the opposite of what everybody is used to with a mouth guard. In fact, mouth guard is really not a very good term for it. It'd be better to be a mouth appliance, because it does keep you from breaking your teeth, which is what the mouth guard was designed for back in 1950. So 71 years ago, it was designed to keep you from slamming your teeth together and breaking your teeth. But we didn't know back then that there was a mechanism in our body that could make your nerves function better to your muscles and position your jaw away from your skull to reduce concussions down to 0.2%. So it increases your strength by 16.8%, reduces the chance of concussion down to 2%, and it makes it so you can breathe and get more oxygen, and you can talk normally because it's on your lower teeth, not your upper. So it's a revolutionary discovery, and every person should know about it because it makes all other mouth guards pretty much obsolete.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I have here practicing general neuromuscular dentist, 30 plus years. Congrats.
Thank you.
What made you want to do this? It's great. What made you want to do this?
Well, I grew up in a sports family. I was telling you off air about my dad and the Yankees. But he was an exercise physiologist, one of the first in the nation. And he built a big program at Iowa State University. And he was very active in all the sports. He did a lot of athletic testing. We had season tickets to every sports event at Iowa State University. And we just grew up, loving sports. And so it was just natural when I started to work with TMJ, pain, headache, neck pain patients. And when they started to tell me that they felt like they had more energy, more strength, a better balance, I just naturally thought, well, if I can make Mrs. Jones stronger and better balanced, what would happen if I took the 0-9 Detroit Lions and made them stronger? They'd end up in the Super Bowl and I'd be a genius. So that's when I started my pursuit into seeing if this was a really true principle or not. And we've proven that and patented it. And we've discovered that this is a true body principle, that you can increase your strength of 8% and reduce the chance of concussion down to 0.2%. So I've always been excited about it. It's a natural thing for me. This is something that we need in sports because, frankly, concussions have no answer right now. Nobody knows how to prevent them, and we don't really know real well how to treat them. So it's best if we have an easy piece of equipment that can actually reduce the G-forces down to almost zero. 0.2% is almost zero. So it's a natural thing for me to pursue.
Yes, that's awesome. Kind of answered my next question. I said, is this to help prevent concussions? You want to?
Well, everybody hates that word prevent, and naturally so. You got to be cautious. But if you can lower the concussion rate down to 0.2%, that's a whole lot of prevention. Since the last 50 years, the concussion rate's been about 20% in whatever they've done. The mechanism of the jaw has been totally ignored and not even considered. And that's why I feel that's why the concussion rate has hovered at the same rate for the last 50 years because we were ignoring the jaw. I have a really good example of someone who hasn't had a concussion in the NFL in his 8 years playing strong safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. His name is Daniel Sorensen. He acquired the technology back when he was a non-drafted free agent practice player. He got a hold of Power Plus Mouthguard and started wearing it. And now he's last year against the Cleveland Browns, he put the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl with that hit at the goal line where the guy fumbled out of the end zone. The two heads collided and Daniel popped up and went back in. The other guy didn't go in. So he has not had a concussion. He's increased his performance, being non-drafted, and then ended up with a large contract and playing 8 years for the same team. He says that he feels invincible with it. That's just an anecdotal example of how Power Plus can make a difference in even an elite player.
Nice, that's awesome. How is Power Plus Mouthguard different from a regular mouthguard?
Okay, well, the regular mouthguard, let's just put quotations around that, was invented in 1950 by the American Dental Association because Life magazine, it's not so popular now, but back then it was like the most popular magazine. It was always full of a lot of pictures and really good articles. But they wrote an article about some Notre Dame players that were breaking their teeth. So the dental community came together and developed a cushion, a tooth guard, a mouth guard to keep you from banging your raw teeth together and causing them to fracture. And it became, in 1973, it became a rule in the NCAA that you had to wear a mouth guard because of that. But again, it was only a piece of material between your teeth to keep you from banging them together. They knew nothing about body physiology with respect to the jaw or any neural physiology with respect to increased strength or muscle function. And that at that point in time, they didn't really care. All they cared about is having something to keep you from breaking your front teeth or back teeth or whatever. So Power Plus Mouthguard does that because it is a piece of material between your teeth. So naturally it will protect you from breaking your teeth. But what it does more is, first of all, you wear it on your lower teeth, which is the movable part of your skull. The jawbone moves and can affect muscle function by its position. So when you put your muscles in that natural physiologic rest position, it opens up nerve channels to the rest of your body so you can increase your strength by 16.8%. So that's one thing that it does. It harnesses your nervous system and lets your muscles work at a higher level. It also positions your jaw so that it opens your airway so you can get more oxygen. Whereas a traditional mouth guard, everybody complains, and you probably worn one when you were in high school, that it's obstructive, you can't breathe with it. When you're running really hard, it's hanging down in your mouth, you can't breathe, you can't talk because it's obtrusive and obstructive in your mouth. Whereas this technology, the appliance is underneath your tongue so you can talk normally and it doesn't block any of your airway whatsoever. And then the last thing is that it positions the ball in a position that if you do get force, it can't jump across that gap and injure the brain. It has to go somewhere else. So it goes out into your neck and your shoulders and dissipates out away from your skull. And that's how you end up not having a brain injury because of your jaw position. And because it strengthens your neck, I think all the studies show now that if you have a stronger neck, you're going to reduce the amount of concussion force to the brain. And this does this virtually by just allowing more muscle information, more nerve information to your muscles and muscles of your neck, the rest of your body, so that your whole body is stronger and your neck is stronger as well. So there's a huge difference between physiologic jaw positioning mouth guard, which Power Plus mouth guard is the only one and will ever be the only one until the patent runs out, because it's the only one that can produce the physiologic jaw position. And there's only one position for me and one position for you and one position for somebody else. It's their own unique jaw position. It can't be done by any other way.
The mouth guard I usually use, the pacifier mouth guard. I know that's the worst. I've seen it with the football players. I feel like it's bad for them. What do you think about that?
I think it is the worst mouth guard you could possibly ever use, and for many reasons. One reason is physiologically, you have a physiologic zone where that's your optimal performance zone and your protected zone that keeps your brain from being injured. Pacifier opens you way up wide because it's so thick, and that puts your jaw in a jeopardy position to where you can actually make yourself more susceptible to a concussion by wearing a pacifier mouth guard. It also is totally oxygen obstructive. So everybody also agrees that strengthening your neck reduces concussions, but also reducing your oxygen intake reduces performance. So you can't stay in the game as long. You can't function as at 100% when your oxygen is depleted. So the pacifier, and it looks dumb. You had a pacifier when you were 1 year old. Now you're an adult and you're running around sucking on a pacifier.
I know.
End of story.
All right. So where do you see the Power Plus mouth guard? Who's it geared for? You said professional athletes. Is it geared for younger kids as well?
Yeah. It's like I say, it's a normal body function. So it happens in everybody's body, however old you are. So there's different mouth guards for Power Plus mouth guards for different situations. But I designed one, let's call it a generic one, that anybody, any kid, any person could follow the directions and fit it for themselves in their own home. You can order that online, powerplusmouthguard.com. Basically, it's very simple, but you have to follow the instructions because it's not just boil and bite. We don't want to know where you can bite. You can bite in any infinite number of positions. We want to know where your physiologic jaw position is, and that's only obtained by taking a step-by-step swallowing procedure. You have to swallow, basically. So if you do that, you can put your jaw into that physiologic jaw position as the material that you're swallowing against cools down. Then there's a Pro Elite model that I have to send you a kit. You have to take your own impressions. You have to send them back to me. I make a custom fit mouth guard just for you. It only fits you, and it's very streamlined and fits perfectly, and it's in your personal physiologic jaw position. So all you have to do is take it out of the box and put it in your mouth and go play. Nice. That takes about 2 hours to make each one, and so it naturally costs a lot more to do that. But we have anywhere from professional football, basketball, college, the University of Michigan, 8 quarterbacks have Power Plus mouth guard now. All the way down to Pop Warner, football, soccer, kids soccer, all kids sports. And that's another thing. This isn't just for contact sports, which is what we usually consider a mouth guard for. This is for any sport that you need to be stronger, better balanced, have more stamina. You can hit the ball farther. You can jump higher. You can run faster. Had Justin Gatlin, who's on the Olympic 100-meter team. He was wearing Power Plus Mouthguard. It lowered his times to world record holder. It had nothing to do with banging his teeth together or anything like that. It just put his body in perfect physiology, and therefore he could run faster. So this is what Power Plus technology is all about. Any sport, equestrian, anything you need more strength for, it will definitely improve you at least 16.8%. Most people are more than that.
Nice. So that's good stuff. Since you mentioned professional athletes, if you had to pick one, who's your favorite professional athlete that you made the Power Plus Mouthguard for?
I would have to say Daniel Sorensen. He's been wearing it for 8 years. I have others, Ronnie Stanley, Taysom Hill, but Daniel Sorensen has worn it for 8 years, and he went from just a practice player to a $16 million strong safety with no concussions. I mean, how much, and 2 Super Bowls, how much more? I mean, I've got Ray Crockett. He was a Super Bowl athlete on the Denver Broncos. He was a cornerback, I believe. And he's in the Super Bowl as well. Fred Warner for San Francisco. I have a lot of guys, but my favorite is Daniel because he believed in it 8 years ago when he left college, and he still wears it today. You'll see if you watch the Chiefs game on Sunday, just look at 49 and you can see that he's got a little red stripe on his lower teeth. That's Power Plus Mouthguard.
Nice. Yes, that's awesome. Where do you see this? Where do you see Power Plus Mouthguard in a couple of years?
I see it that every person who plays sports will be wearing the new technology, just like when your parents grew up and they got a phone call, they had to go to the wall and pick up the phone that's attached to the wall and answer it. And now we reach into our pocket and we FaceTime with people. We see their face and we talk to them and see their reactions. Or up into the 1920s when people were dying of simple infection, and then somebody discovered penicillin, and that cured all the infections at the time. This is what Power Plus is all about. We have a mouth guard that's been frankly causing us concussions for the last 71 years. And now we have one that takes it almost to zero. That alone is reason enough to go out and buy this technology, because a brain injury is a lifetime injury. There's no cure for it, and it's very well known the damage that can be done. And so I see it in every athlete's mouth, even people who don't normally wear a mouth guard. I see it in theirs because of the improvements it can make. This is something that's very important, and I really appreciate the opportunity to get on your show, because I can talk to your listeners, and now they know something new that they never knew before.
No problem, anytime. So we're gonna go straight to these quick 5 questions. Easy. I'm just gonna ask you a question, and that's it. So, it's your
All right.
favorite color?
Blue.
Nice. Favorite snack?
Pizza.
Nice. Favorite movie?
That would have to be What About Bob?
Nice. What about favorite TV show?
Jeopardy.
Nice. So you're like my dad. He loves Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's awesome.
Yeah. Favorite sports team?
That would have to be the Chicago Cubs.
Nice. Favorite athlete?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, let's get the Chicago roots in there. I love it.
Yeah, well, there's nobody. You know, he's a human being, but you know what I loved about him is that he was willing to sacrifice himself for the betterment of the team. He could have gone for more money at a certain point in his career, but he took the better athletes to be on his team to win a championship because he was a team player. I like that. And also I like the fact that he never quit. And that came in Salt Lake City when he had the flu and had to take IV in the halftime and came out and I don't know what he scored, 35, 40 points to win the championship. That's somebody to revere. Not necessarily in his personal life, but just that kind of work ethic. Never quit, never give up. That's what I really admire. And I suppose that's why I've been doing this for 21 years and still going.
Yeah, it's crazy. And last question, and I will go with the final thoughts. We asked this to everyone on the podcast, which is celebrity crush.
My celebrity crush. I won't say myself because that would be egotistical. Even though I do have my own radio show on dentistry here in Northern Michigan, and I'm widely known for that. But I don't know. I guess it would have to go back to my childhood and say Farrah Fawcett.
Nice. You and my dad, he got a similar quality. The Farrah Fawcett is his crush. You got Jeopardy, so I definitely gotta tell him about you.
I can't be any more honored than to be like your dad.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So obviously, thank you for coming on. Any final thoughts?
Everybody, listen up. This is new technology. Go get it. It will only help you play better and make you safer. All you moms and dads, you must do this for your child to keep them safe. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Hutchinson. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in a splash.
All right. Thanks.